What's up, guys? Welcome back to the book review. So, this is a series that I started several years ago, and I did three of them, two books apiece. So, I reviewed six books. They didn't really take off, and so kind of gave up on it and moved on to other content. But we started Titanium University this year. And one of the really cool things that we've done inside of Titanium University is we started a book club, optional, completely optional. It's got its own chat with all of the members. And then every 3 to 4 weeks, we pick a book, we all read it, and then we get together and we give our takeaways from the book over an hour-long Zoom call. And it's literally been one of the most transformational things for me personally inside of Titanium University. Really getting to hear other entrepreneurs read books that can make a massive difference in our lives, whether it's business related or mindset, or just quite frankly, the way that we're comprehending what the author was trying to convey to us. It's just been an awesome experience. It's been an emotional experience. And so today I'm going to be reviewing the first two books that we read, Essentialism by Greg McKeown, and then Living with a Seal by Jesse Itzler. And I'm not going to get too much into the details about each book. I'll share a couple of things and some takeaways. But the first thing I want to just get out there is if you're an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, I would say you need to read both of these books. Specifically starting with Essentialism. This is, I can't think of a book like this one that immediately every chapter as I read it, I started literally quoting it. You've heard it in my videos since I've read this book. So I can't even take credit for it because it's literally just become a part of who I am. But on the back, I love this part. It says, Essentialism isn't about getting more done in less time, which a lot of times books like this are about how you can get more done. It's just about getting only the right things done. And this is why I think every entrepreneur should read Essentialism, because I think that is one of the areas so many people struggle with as an entrepreneur is, what is the right thing for me to be doing right now? And we get lost in the small little tasks that eat up our time, like checking emails and responding to all these social media DMs and, just busy work, right? We're not necessarily doing things that are moving the needle significantly for us. And so the next thing you know, we find ourselves and we're 6 months into a year, and it's like we haven't accomplished nearly what we set out to accomplish this year. And I think it's because we lack being an essentialist. And so for me, I think you need to read this and then make mental notes of where you are currently not being an essentialist in your business and in your life in general. Are you constantly finding things to make yourself feel like you're doing a lot, to be busy instead of doing the right things? Now, one of the things I do want to share here is inside of Titanium University's book club, we have a Goodreads group where we can leave our notes. And a couple of our members left notes here from their takeaways, and I think some of them are very valuable. One of them was win. That stands for what's important now. That's how you win. Do the most important thing now. See, as entrepreneurs, we like to do it the opposite way, right? We want to say, what's the easy thing? Okay, well, I can check my emails. Is that the most important thing that you need to be doing right now? Or is there something monumental that you need to do to win right now? Don't try and do everything. It's okay to say no. That was a huge part about this. Everybody, obviously, because I always say embrace no, embrace no. There's a whole chapter in here about how to say no. And you should be saying no. And I say that all the time. And I normally am referencing, when we're talking to sellers, hey, embrace no. We're deal finders. We're not deal manufacturers. It's okay to say no, move on to the next one. You're only going to close 1 out of every 10 leads, so you got to say no 9 times. Anyways, 90% of the time you should be saying no. This book clearly explains that you should be saying no a lot more frequently, and that's what leads to you doing the right things. The other thing is when I talk about the hedgehog concept, right? I talk about the hedgehog concept. Why? Because if you know what your core business function is, everything else, it's easy to say, no, that's not what I'm going to do. And this book essentially outlines that as well. You could get lost as an entrepreneur if you're saying yes to too many things. The other thing is focus on things that really matter, okay? And really identifying how does it matter. If what I do today is going to help me achieve my goals a month from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now, that's important. If it's just to make myself feel like I accomplished something and I was busy a day, it's not the right thing. Another person says, I can't help everyone. No matter how good it feels to be nice and want to see others win, if they don't want it for themselves as bad as you want it for them, it will never work. And that's talking about building teams. And sometimes we just hang on to people, the wrong people. Maybe we like them, but they're not right for the position. They're not right for our company. An essentialist would cut that and say, that is not the right fit for my company. I can no longer help you. Don't waste time doing things you do not enjoy. Even if it's a must for your company, there's probably someone else that could do it better and might even enjoy doing it. Now, I think this one's hilarious because entrepreneurs, we really struggle with this, right? We sit there and we say, well, I'm going to do my books when we get started. I'll do my books. I'm not going to waste the money on doing that. And yet you're completely okay with wasting hours and days of your life doing your own books instead of just outsourcing it to someone who has dedicated their life and their career to being a bookkeeper or a CPA. Why? Why did we do such silly things? I did that for probably the first 4 years of being an entrepreneur. It was completely dumb of me to do that. Don't waste time doing things you don't enjoy and you shouldn't be doing. After determining what things that deserve time and energy, it becomes effortless to take action within those items. I think that's a huge takeaway from this book. And like I said, I recommend Essentialism to everybody. I think it's one of the best just overall books I've read. I thought Greg McCown did an amazing job with this. I really didn't know what to think about it throughout. I was so moved by the different factors that impacted me. And I found myself going, there's a lot in this book that I'm doing already, and then there's a lot that I can grow in, and that's what you want with reading a book. Now, let's move on to Living with a Seal. Completely different type of book, okay? This is Jesse Itzler sharing his journey of inviting David Goggins to come live with him and train with him. David Goggins is a maniac. Jesse Itzler is fun. And if you listen to the Audible version like I did, I have the hard copy, but I also listened to it on Audible. Jesse Itzler is fun and he's enjoyable to listen to in the way that he retells the stories. And essentially he just tells every single day for a month what they did, right? So 31 days, this is what they did and how their journey took place of training together. Basically, David Goggins was with them almost all of the time. Like going to the office, going on trips, they were always together. One of my big takeaways from this is how often David Goggins impromptu made him do training, where it was like right in the middle of the day, we've got 10 minutes for a meeting, 100 push-ups. And I laughed because it's like, you know, February of 2024, I started my weight loss journey and I started working out and I hired a trainer and I started eating healthier. I've lost 25 pounds this year, still on the journey. And it's been amazing. I've really enjoyed it. I feel a lot better. I'm a lot more active. I was already playing hockey, but that was like once a week. Now I'm going golfing all the time, working out and stuff like that. It feels good, right? But I found myself going, well, I always segment when I will do things physically, right? When it's like, all right, I'm not going to go do 100 push-ups during a day, but yet listening to Jesse talk about in this book how many times he did that, even though he didn't want to, how it changed, how in just in a month, how easy it was for him to do that. And it just became a new way of life for him. That was one of my big takeaways. Everyone agreed that throughout this book, the biggest takeaway is that we are capable of so much more than how we naturally just push ourselves, right? We get to a certain level and it starts hurting, and we give up and we say, I'm uncomfortable right now, so I'm going to stop. And I'm not just talking about physically. I'm talking about in everything in our lives. When it becomes hard, it becomes way easy just to quit. And in this, for whatever reason, because Jesse made the commitment to David and he had David there pushing him, there was so much more accomplished by both of them, really. But seeing Jesse go from struggling on day one to even accomplish half of what David wanted him to accomplish to at the end enjoying the process. So again, going back to some of the takeaways from the Titanium University members, seek the challenge of physical and mental limitations. What you think you could do is 40% of what you could probably do. 40%. That's crazy that we get to that level and then we stop. We have so much more that we can give. And I know that a ton of us do not. Call the people you find interesting and connect with them and make them your friends. That was a huge one for a lot of people. The fact that Jesse connected with David and did something like this. How many people do you know that would do something as crazy as inviting Navy SEAL to come live with them and train with them for 31 days? Not many people would do that. Doing extremely hard things makes formerly hard things seem easy. It's hilarious. I looked at this and I go, man, that's how I felt after doing the 50-day challenge. Not to compare it to working out and running miles and miles and all of that, but conveying it back to our real estate businesses, our wholesaling businesses, and how many times do we sit there and we call sellers for a couple of hours and then we find something else to do? Essentialism, right? Well, I'm not going to be an essentialist anymore. I'm not going to call motivated sellers, and I'm going to go check my emails and I'm going to get on Facebook and I'm going to fuck around for the rest of the day, right? Well, when you force yourself into, hey, 8 hours a day of nothing else but talking to sellers, suddenly when I go live for 2, 3, 4 hours, it's easy. It's nothing. I went live the other day with Jerry Norton for 2 hours, and it literally felt like we were just getting started. Why? Because I built up a habit of doing that for 8 hours every single day. The 2-hour live was just the first potty break, right? I mean, that was nothing. Let's see. I love the perspective. This is a huge one for me. I love the perspective around everything ends. The pain will always end. We give up because it's like, man, I'm in pain. I can't do anymore, and so we give up. But it will always end. And I look back at times where I wanted to give up. We were in such a bad place with our business, deals that looked like they were just going to cripple us, frustration, stress. People ask me all the time, RJ, why do you seem like you're never stressed? Because I'm not. I firmly believe everything ends at some point in time. Why get stressed? We'll figure out a solution and we'll move on from it. Look out for potential dangers. David Goggins multiple times freaked out about different stuff and the security that was lacking in Jesse's personal home, his life, his lifestyle. And David said, you never know. You never know. So you always have to be secure and you always have to do that. this happened to me. There was a kid that lives in my neighborhood, and his older brothers dared him to go up and kick my front door. In my house was just randomly picked. Okay, it wasn't like particularly they were trying to pick on us or anything like that. His older brothers dared him to go up and kick the crap out of my front door, and it sounded like someone was trying to break into my house. And I'll never forget the moment that happened. I ran outside. I couldn't see anybody. They had run around the corner and hid. And I immediately went and bought security cameras for some places on my house that didn't have them. I was not looking for the potential dangers until the danger felt like it was there. Well, it was too late at that point. So look around in your life, look inside of your business, look inside of your personal life and be like, hey, are there dangers that I'm not even looking for? Because when it happens, you're going to regret the fact that you were lazy and you didn't even take the time to look for potential dangers. And then the other thing is, and the last takeaway on living with a SEAL is it's okay to build the parachute on the way down. Take risk and adjust and pivot as necessary. This is something that I've lived by. And I tell everybody inside of Titanium University, on day one, you're going to come in and you're going to talk to motivated sellers. We will not be a community that allows you to be in here for 3-6 months without talking to a seller. If we don't talk to sellers, there's no way in the world we're going to close deals. So you're going to talk to motivated sellers today on day one. Your job, the reason why we have daily implementation calls inside of Titanium University is because your job is to go out there and take massive action, fuck some shit up, show up to the implementation calls and say, this is where I need help. What do I do? And then we give you the support. We give you the answer. You go out, you fix it, and you take more massive action, and you keep building that parachute on your way down. That's what leads to you getting results. That's what leads to you creating your own reality inside of your wholesaling business. So that being said, Essentialism by Greg McCown, Living with a SEAL by Jesse Itzler. 2 great books. The first 2 books that we read inside of Titanium University's book club. I believe both of them were given. Living with a SEAL was given a 5-star rating. There was one person that gave it a 3-star, but everyone outweighed it. Essentialism was given a 5-star rating. That was unanimous. So great books. Every entrepreneur should read both of them. They're easy reads too. I mean, we're not talking about super long reads. One Essentialism is like 270 pages, and Living with a SEAL is 257. So very easy, quick reads, but move the needle significantly for any and all entrepreneurs. That being said, guys, I have gone live, or not live. I've released a video every single day this year. Today is day 329. So I did 328 days straight of videos, and I had not done a book review. However, we are doing the book club, and we are reading some great books. We've already done several other books inside of the book club. If you like today's video and you want me to do more book review videos, leave me a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you like about them, and I'll continue doing these. I love reading. I'm going to read probably 25 books this year. And next year, I'll probably set a goal of closer to 30. I think reading is one of the best things any business owner can do, because it's great to consume other people's wisdom that have been in your shoes and are where you want to be. So if you want more book reviews on the channel, I'm going to say it all the time, maybe once a month, let me know in the comments. Give me a like on today's video, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.